Hey everyone, Ash here with the Better Than Yesterday blog. Bookkeeping can be really overwhelming to many small business owners and personally, which is why a majority of people don't have bookkeeping in place for themselves or their small business. Let's put an end to that. Follow me to the Better Than Yesterday website to download the free bookkeeping template, and I'll walk you through how to use it. First, you will need to grab whatever device you can easily use Excel with. Then head over to the Better Than Yesterday website. Okay, once you get to the Better Than Yesterday website, you're going to scroll down to the Resources section, and from there you're going to select the Bookkeeping Template. This is going to download the Excel template that you're going to work right from. So once this finishes downloading, then you're just going to open it right up. And as you can see, we have several tabs here. So we have all of the months, January through December. And then at the very front, we also have a profit and loss statement. So I'm just going to quickly go over how this works. So in January is really where you're going to kind of want to build everything from. So if you want to rename your income columns and then also your expense columns, we're going to do a personal example first. So we'll just do spouse number 1 and then spouse number 2. And as you can see, this flows into January. We'll just hit on some randomly. The spouse one is in August, and then we also have November and December. So if you update it in January, it'll flow to all of the months, and then also it'll show on the profit and loss statement right here too. And the same goes for expenses. So we'll just do a couple as well: utilities and then insurance. And as you can see, it all flows over. And it's also on the profit and loss. So just make sure that you're just updating it in January, saving yourself a little bit of time, not having to enter it in on every single one. So what we're going to do first is look at our personal check register. So this is just an example personal check register that we are going to work right from. So our beginning balance is $2,000. So over here, you'll see that there is a bank balance option. So you'll just put your opening balance, which was $2,000 in this example. And then we're just going to literally copy over whatever's in our check register right here. So you're going to treat this details section as your check register. So we'll just start entering that in. So since this is a check first, we are going to code this to our utilities column right here. So I'm going to enter that $450 right there. And if I scroll over, I should have scrolled over first. If I scroll over, you'll see that this number right here matches my balance right here as well. So we're just going to move right along. So this is the spouse number 1 paycheck. So we will enter that $1,000 here. And then I'll just continue on real quick and we'll show the rest as a whole. So then for insurance, we're going to put this in the insurance column. And then we'll move along to the spouse number 2 check. And then we'll enter that $1,500 in the spouse number 2 column. So then that way you can see what your total spouse number 1 column check is, and then spouse number 2 what their total check is, and then also however much you spent in utilities for January, and same for insurance as well. And then you can also scroll over here and see what our ending balance is. And it also matches our check register. So that automatically calculates for you as well. So that's kind of how you can use this bookkeeping template personally. And then if you go over to your profit and loss statement, you can see if you are money ahead or not, or if you're spending more than you're making. So this is just kind of a really nice reference to have. It also is very beneficial if you are wanting to build a budget, because then you can kind of look on a month-to-month basis of how much you spend on utilities, insurance, if you have other expenses for groceries, etc. It just really is a very good resource for you to kind of check out and see how much you're really spending every month on certain expenses. So now let's do a business example. So we'll close out of that first check register and now work on this construction business example so that you can see how to use this for your business if you are planning on using it for business or personal. That way you kind of have either option. So this is our business construction check register, and I will go ahead and clear these amounts out real quick. And we'll set up our income columns for construction. So on the construction check register, you can see that we have a deposit for residential construction and then also a deposit for commercial construction. So what I'm going to do, me as the construction business owner, I want to see how much income I'm bringing in residentially and how much income I'm bringing in commercially. So I'm going to separate those two income columns. So we have our residential and our commercial, and then we also have on our check register a check to the lumber company and then a check to the tool company for some tools. So we will just update this as lumber, or you could call it cost of goods sold as well. We'll just do cost of goods sold for right now, and then we have tools. So now we're just going to enter the data in. So these two columns real quick, this name is basically your vendor name, and then this description is kind of what you can put as a description. So I'm just using lumber company as a generic company name. Let's just say that the lumber company had a completely different name and you weren't really sure, you couldn't remember what you bought. So that's where you can enter in this description right here for you to kind of look back and reference on as far as like what you actually purchased from said company. So that's kind of the difference between the name and the description columns right here. So then we're going to enter that lumber amount, that $1,000 in. We'll just continue on. So we'll enter that first deposit in as residential income. We'll code the tool company one to tools. And then now we'll enter the final deposit, which is from ABC Company, and that is for commercial construction. All right, and then we'll head over to our balance, which I did not update in the beginning. So the beginning balance was $5,000, and now you can see that our ending balance is matched. That $14,500 matches my $14,500 over here. So this is just really nice because you can see, again, the splits of how much you've received residentially in January, and then how much income you've received commercially, and then how much you're spending on all of your expenses as well. So then you can also have your profit and loss here, which will be really beneficial, especially if you have a small business. You can just hand this over to your tax accountant and they can easily put this together for your tax return. And then that way you can see where you're at every month as well, so that you can make business decisions. So having a set of books is very beneficial. I do enjoy using accounting softwares, but this is just a really nice template if you don't want to invest in any accounting softwares. So hopefully this is really helpful for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. And thanks so much for using our free resources.